who I'll defer to in a moment, that they are now stipulating that Mr.
This is Jeffrey Clark, who is facing a Macomb County court for murder. On July 4th, 2022, Jeffrey Clark got into an argument with Jeray Robertson at a parking lot. The matter escalated, leading to Clark shooting Robertson to death. Reports stated that Clark, along with a woman, Tamara Scott, chased Robertson in a car into the city of Fraser and killed him. The shooter was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. During the court proceedings, another woman who had romantic ties to both men had chilling revelations to make.
He proceeded to tell me that he would kill me if I told on him. He told me exactly what he did to Mr. Robertson. He told me that Mr. Robertson begged for his life, and that the only thing he was worried about was that he was on tether.
The CCTV footage of the shooting was then played in the courtroom with the family of Robertson present. With emotions running high, the twin brother of the deceased decided it was time to show Clark what pain tasted like.
Man, they gonna see you. You hit him. Man, he killed. That's what the police are here for. Hey, I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Order was eventually restored to the court after Robertson's brother was handcuffed and sat in the courtroom. Clark, on the other hand, was finally convicted for murder and was denied bond. Tamara, who had been charged with one count of accessory to a felony, had her bond set at $2,000. After the hearing, one of the attorneys could not believe the events that had just unfolded.
It's an emotional case. I mean, obviously we have an individual who was shot repeatedly. We have members of the victim's family, the defendant's family were present, so it's no surprise that emotions are involved. It's unfortunate that they decided to let those emotions unleash in the courtroom.
In this next case, we will be looking at a serial criminal who couldn't catch a break and seems to have luck on his side. Will his lucky streak continue? This is Christopher Dominguez, who is facing an Albuquerque district court for violating his probation while at a treatment facility. Dominguez violated his probation by taking prohibited Suboxone while at the treatment facility. The judge was no stranger to the elusive criminal, as he had managed to escape a lengthy jail time in the past, and had some words for him.
It's as if there's something else going on here that we need to take a look at and find out what treatment is appropriate for you.
Feeling remorseful, Dominguez made an admission before the court.
I didn't mean for this to happen. The drug was there and I kept saying no, and I was tempted, and finally I gave in, and I was wrong, and I'm just sorry.
After reviewing the evidence against the elusive criminal, the court felt compassion and decided that a 60-day diagnostic evaluation would help change the serial criminal and put him on the right path. How wrong they were. A year later, Dominguez found himself yet again in an Albuquerque district court on numerous car theft charges.
He'd like a chance to prove that to you by coming back out onto a short term of probation.
She had played the victim card some months back in a similar case that involved her client.
I know we've heard the words last chance before, but that's what I'm asking for this time, is just one final and truly last chance.
Following his counsel, Dominguez also put on a nice guy persona for his statement.
I want to change my old way of living and have a promising future. Thank you for your time, Your Honor. Respectfully, Christopher Dominguez.
The judge, sensing the charade, Dominguez and his counsel had put on display for the entire court, decided to put the facts straight with her final judgment.
Given a deal, I think 6.5 years for this many cases is a great deal. And that's the benefits you're getting out of it. So take advantage of it. Good luck. Thank you.
Realizing his luck with avoiding prison had run out, Dominguez dropped his nice guy act and erupted in front of the judge as he was escorted out from the court. Luckily, the judge didn't add an extra year to his sentence for contempt of court. While Dominguez might have enjoyed a field day with Mother Luck, the next convict had to settle for a mother's wrath. This is Frank DeLeon Jr., who is in a Houston court for murder. In January 2022, 19-year-old DeLeon shot his then 16-year-old girlfriend, Diamond Alvarez, 22 times while she was walking her dog in Southwest Houston. Alvarez had discovered that her partner was cheating and had agreed to meet at a park to iron things out. The 19-year-old is facing a single charge of first-degree murder. During the court hearing, Ana Machado, the mother of Alvarez, after giving her statement, made a move toward her child's killer, but was met by a roadblock.
You take my daughter, not to hurt my daughter.
Seeing a chance to make a move, Diamond's uncle crept past officers and rained hell on Frank. While court officials tried to restrain the enraged man, Machado tried to offer aid but was met with yet another roadblock. In the ensuing chaos, the murderer's mother suddenly became the target of an unknown assailant in red. The vengeful uncle, who was now restrained, had some last words for his niece's killer as he was whisked out of the courtroom.
Please.
Everyone take a seat. Take a seat. Step out. We're in the corner. Take a seat. Take a seat.
After the order was restored, the judge sentenced the 18-year-old to 45 years behind bars and was only eligible for parole when he had done half of his total sentence. After the court proceeding, Machado had some words to say.
It was wrong of me. That was wrong of us because we're not monsters. But it's so much hate because I want my daughter back. And what he did it was horrible. Seeing my daughter there and looking at him that he did that and he's laughing in my face. It was very wrong and I'm so sorry for that.
In this next case, the convict was only concerned about how he looked in his mugshot.
Stipulating that Mr. T.
This is Christopher Teal, who is facing a King County court in Seattle for rape charges. On the 14th of May, 2018, Teal was accused of following a 40-year-old woman into the restroom of a car dealership and doing unspeakable things to her. The 26-year-old who had locked the restroom door was later discovered by the car dealership staff. Teal is facing severe charges of first-degree rape and unlawful imprisonment. During court proceedings, the sex crime offender stood in front of the judge. But what happens next is anything but ordinary.
Standing from his counsel, who I'll defer to in a moment, that they are now stipulating that Mr.
Get out! Face down! Face down! Put your hand on your face! Put your hand behind your back now. Put your hand behind your back.
Exactly as I'm told. You don't have to tell them what name, sir. Anything you cause it because you want to.
Hold on, hold on.
It's true.
Get cool. Bring the chair. Bring the chair.
We'll get the chair.
After guards confirmed the lawyer was all right, the naughty offender was whisked out of the courtroom with a spit hood on his head.
Good job.
Alright, get up. Stand up.
How that hurts, you don't have to do that.
Still recovering from the shock, the lawyer withdrew from the case and decided not to place charges, while Teal had a $1 million bond placed on his head.
Regarding the Christopher Teal matter.
No.
Okay. I have a question though. Are you running a diminished capacity or insanity or anything of that nature?
I don't have anything to talk about.
2 weeks later, Teal made another appearance in court, this time in a strap chair. During court proceedings, he noticed something was off and had some questions for the judge.
I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. Because that was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
All right.
So you're on the... legitimate question. Like, do they have access to Google?
The case was forced to be rescheduled by the judge, as the defendant's continuous complaints and outbursts in the last court session proved too much, even before the proceedings had begun. In this next absurd courtroom moment, this teenage girl charged her parents to court. Sean and Elizabeth Canning are in the Morris County Courthouse, New Jersey, for allegedly refusing to pay their daughter's tuition. Their 19-year-old daughter, Rachel Canning, took them to court with the help of her friend's family. She had been living with them for 4 months after she alleged her own family kicked her out. Rachel's parents argued that she left on her own and therefore they cannot be responsible for her bills. Sean and Elizabeth Canning are facing charges of abandonment and neglect. During court proceedings, both parties tendered their cases.
I believe that she is a vulnerable young woman and her parents aren't taking care of her, and I'm asking the court to help her in this very difficult situation because they have constructively abandoned her. And I believe that they are being negligent and irresponsible.
These statements that they don't want to help her and they've left her on the street are so dramatic. There's no reason she couldn't come home to her household in her private school and her new car, but she didn't want to give up the boyfriend.
Great, thank you very much, counsel.
The judge shared some concerns about Rachel's past.
They've raised several issues, and obviously several mistakes have been made. The young lady who is in court has an alleged history staying out during the week from 12 to 1 o'clock, drinking, brought home one night by a male friend's parent at 3 o'clock, intoxicated, school suspensions, was stripped of her captaincy as a cheerleader, was removed from the campus ministry.
The Teens Council admitted that her private school was in on the whole thing.
They have been behind this move because they see and they know that what's going on in the Canning household is not good for Rachel.
After listening to the audio evidence presented to him,
You're a real winner, aren't you? I really just want to all over your face right now. Anyway, I hate you. Have a nice life.
the judge had some stern words for the teen rebel.
Have you ever seen a young adult, child, whatever we want to call Rachel, show such gross disrespect for a parent? The words that were used in a voicemail to her mother? Maybe you have.
It's not
I don't
right.
see it in my house.
I'm not exactly, you don't see it in your house. However, we also have the certification from the teacher where the mother is calling the daughter the same kind of name. So I would go, that's the parents that set that precedent. They're the ones who raised this child. This is the language that they're using in their household.
Are we going to condone or open the gates to a 12-year-old to sue for an Xbox, a 13-year-old to sue for an iPhone, or how about a 15-year-old asking for a 60-inch flat panel TV? I understand the allegations that are raised in this case are far more serious than those types of material goods. But again, I'd like both counsel to be mindful of a potential slippery slope here.
Sensing growing tensions, the judge decided to draw the curtains on the case, denying Rachel's immediate request for financial support and recommending family counseling. In this next absurd case, the prosecutor confronts the judge as he turns his back on justice. Mateo Moore is standing trial in an Ohio courtroom for a murder. Moore had been accused of murdering his wife and then staging it as suicide. He was charged with 1 count of felony murder, 1 count of purposeful murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. The case had been going on for a while, and on day 7, the judge, in the absence of the county prosecutor, decided to proceed with his judgment. However, Mark Sleeper, the prosecutor's colleague, would not let that happen.
No, I'm sorry, but I would object to going forward anyway right now without the elected county prosecutor who's on this case.
But she chose not to be here.
That's not accurate, Judge.
Okay, okay, your objection's noted.
We had a phone status conference 2 weeks ago in which Ms. Schiffel...
Your objection is noted. Okay?
I'm not going to participate in this proceeding without the elected county prosecutor. I think this is a sham that you're going forward. When the court was...
You're going to sit here. You're going to sit here.
Seeing the judge was not taking his appeal seriously, Sleeper decided to take matters into his own hands.
You were told about her unavailability and specifically told her on the phone not to cancel that appointment, that it wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to be here for the decision, that's your business.
Well, Your Honor, I think this is outrageous. You're going forward without the prosecutor.
The judge was visibly stunned and managed to say a few words.
Prepared my remarks and my decision here today. And I am, I am glad I had the opportunity to spend the night to do some deliberation on this matter and think about it.
Mateo Moore was acquitted by the court of his murder and assault charges and declared a free man.
The court will now announce the verdicts. Verdict on count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment dated the 26th of August, 2022, signed by all 12 members of the panel. Verdict on count 2. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matthew L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 2 of the indictment dated 26 August 2022 and signed in ink by all 12 members of the panel.